How y'all doing? Welcome to episode 2 of Flea Market Yard Sale and Thrift Shop Finds. Got quite a bit to show you because it's been backed up for a while because I haven't, wanted to wait till I had enough to make a video. I just went to a flea market yesterday, so anyway, let's get started. So the one item I found was a Gene Autry movie called The Phantom Empire. I like these classic westerns. Um, I've never seen this one. I'm actually a little more into Roy Rogers than I am Gene Autry. I like Gene Autry singing, but when it came to the acting in the movies, the one I prefer of the two is Roy Rogers. Speaking of Roy Rogers, found quite a few from my collection yesterday. You have The Bad Man of Deadwood, which is the uncut version, I might add. You have Sheriff of Tombstone, also on the same disc, as you can see. This is by Digiview Productions. That's who distributed it. They are no longer in business, so you won't find them in the stores anymore. Uh, on the old Spanish Trail, this one I don't recall seeing, and this is the full uncut 75-minute version. So that's very good. What I mean by that is that they would edit these for TV, so a lot of times the TV version would be 53, 54 minutes long. And the full version would either be close to 70 minutes or 75 minutes long, usually, so, or at least 65 minutes long. So, but you never know what you're going to get with these. I think in some instances the full print of some of these, at least some of these films, doesn't exist anymore. So the TV version, when it aired on TV in like the late 50s, uh, may be the only print of the movies available, fortunately. But that's why sometimes if I see one that I say is the extended cut, if I already have the shortened version, it's like I'll still grab it. That way I have both versions and I can compare, you know. Because if you're missing 10 minutes of footage in the film, it makes a difference. Believe it or not, it makes a difference. I mean, 30 seconds makes a difference, honestly. Um, Arizona Kid. This is the full version. Uh, his friend Gabby Hayes is in this. Gabby Hayes is usually a sidekick in these movies. He played in 44 films with Roy Rogers. He played in, I think, about 7 with Gene Autry. He played in 15 with John Wayne. So, was in some good company. He actually had his own show for a couple years in the early 50s. As did Roy Rogers, of course, and Gene Autry. Most of them guys. The 1950s and 60s were red hot for westerns. You had some of the best, shows on TV back then were westerns. So you had your pick of a lot of shows. In Old Cheyenne, okay, this one I have never seen. This is the Happy Trails Theater, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans, unauthorized by the Roy Rogers Estate edition of An Old Cheyenne. So I have never actually seen this one. I don't recall seeing it anyway. And honestly, I don't think I've seen the Arizona Kid either, or Bad Man in Deadwood. Honestly, I don't think I've watched Sheriff of Tombstone either. Young Bill Hickok. This one I know I've seen, but this is the full version, as it appears to be. Again, it's the Roy Rogers Estate version. Just picked this up today at Goodwill. Yeah, Goodwill had some good stuff for a change. It was reasonably priced. Yeah, it doesn't happen often. It's not where I am right now. Um, a couple of CDs. A few CDs, actually. Uh, Jane and Dean, all-time greatest hits. Okay, you don't really see too many of them in the wild. At least I don't find them. Okay, so this is by Curb Records, so you can kind of guess what this one is. Okay. Now, if you find this one, I'm gonna let you know a couple of notes. Okay, first of all, first track on it, Surf City. Okay, it is not the original version. It is the 1977 re-recording that Dean did. That's pat. It's marketed as Jan and Dean, but it was sold to KTEL. So I don't even know how they Curb Records ended up with it. I mean, obviously it's not that hard of a version to get, but neither is the original for that matter. The next one that on here, track 3 is Dead Man's Curve. Okay, it's the Drag City album cut version on here. Okay, it's not the single version you would have heard on the radio in 1964 when it was released. Okay, that I can kind of forgive. Okay, next track that's kind of an issue is Jenny Lee, which is track 4, which it's not the Jan and Arnie version, which was the original version of 1958. It's the Jan and Dean version from 1962 that was on the Golden Hits album. So, all in all, I mean, it's a good CD if you can get it cheap. It's just I wouldn't spend more than a couple dollars on it, honestly. I mean, I paid $1.50 for this one on it, or dollar, something like that. But it's not worth much more than that. I mean, it's only got 11 songs on it. Honestly, Bob Moran, it's a great version by Jan and Dean. I actually prefer it over the Beach Boys version, which honestly Dean sung on. A lot of people forget that little detail, but the falsetto on it is Dean, not a Beach Boy. So, but Jan and Dean's version from 1962, also on the Golden Hits album, was more polished. But why it's on here, I don't know, because it was only an album cut. It wasn't released as a single. So. Waylon Jennings' 16 Greatest Hits. Haven't listened to this one yet, but those CDs are usually all the original hits. And it's not usually a problem with those. So. Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt, Emmylou Harris trio. Okay, I've heard of this album, but I've never heard it. So I've heard nothing but good things about it, so I'm not too worried about it. Got a Boxcar Willie tape. Honestly, some of these songs I don't even think I had. His version of In the Jailhouse Now, Crazy Arms, Pistol Packin' Mama. Of course, there's at least one Hank cover on here, half as much. Boxcar Willie loved Hank, as do I. So, I mean, Boxcar Willie covered a lot of Hank songs in his time. Honestly, he could do a whole show with just Hank songs, and people would go see it. Was bound to see it. Richie Valens cassette tape. It's the first time I've ever seen a cassette tape of Richie Valens. I got a couple CDs, but it's the first time I've ever seen a cassette tape of it. Santa Fe Trail. This one's an Errol Flynn Civil War movie. Heard of it, but never seen it, so I just figured it'd be good to add to my Civil War collection. Did a tape of DuckTales. This is an original tape, as you can see by the Disney label. It hasn't fallen off, I might add. It's called Lost World Wanderers. This is the Disney afternoon show that we used to watch back in the day. It's, my favorite show of those shows was and still is Darkwing Duck. But DuckTales, Tailspin, and what the hell is the other one? DuckTales, Tailspin. Drawing a blank here. Well, DuckTales and Tailspin were my other two favorites. Bonkers, I didn't care for whatever the hell that one was called. Goof Troop was essentially just a show with Goofy in it, honestly. I mean, I didn't really care about that one either. Honestly. But, I'm trying to think. There was one more show. Chippendale Rescue Rangers, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that one was good. I mean, I'd get I'll eventually get the complete series of that. I mean, it's not that expensive. But yeah, that was a fun one. But like I said, my favorite of any of those was Darkwing Duck. It's, the theme grabbed your attention when it came on. It's like Darkwing Duck. It's like, of course, we're still waiting for Disney to release Volume 3 so our collections will be complete. Yes, I know. Disney's like Warner Brothers. Good luck with that. But it is what it is. Okay, so this is called Yank Tanks. Carl's Classicals of Cuba, or Classic Cars of Cuba. Because that's all I have there is, quite frankly, real cars. It's the only place you can get a 57 Chevy with a diesel engine. Well, I got no problem with that. I'd rather run that than a fucking electric piece of shit car, I tell you that. Seriously, why have an electric car? It's like a golf cart. It's like a glorified golf cart. This thing's wrong and they're fucking trash. But, whatever. They had a bunch of these at the Recycle North, or one of the Recycle Norths I went to. It's a thrift shop. It's called New World Disorder Greatest Hits. It's a mountain bike video. It's supposed to be greatest hits of their 10-volume set that they did. And I don't watch the mountain bike videos as much as I used to, but I figured, whatever. They had a bunch of sealed copies of it. I'd snag one. Here's a gem. 30th anniversary edition of the original Night of the Living Dead. And this features the 30th anniversary edition, of course, with over 15 minutes of new scenes. You get the 1998 edition of the original 90-minute edit with new musical score. You get a 30th anniversary featurette. You get the trailer, commentary, Dance of the Dead music video. So that's pretty cool because this film, folks, is in public domain. That's why you see a lot of copies of it everywhere, and a lot of times maybe not the best print of it. I mean, honestly, I have on a zombie collection I know it's on there, but honestly, it's probably not the best print. So it's cool to have this because it's a classic. I mean, this is really what started the zombie movie craze. Even though a lot of the zombie movies nowadays they're pretty much the same, so they're not that. A lot of them aren't that great. But this one, yeah, Night of the Living Dead, and quite frankly, the one that got the idea for that was the Vincent Price movie, Last Man on Earth. You know what I'm talking about. The one that the Will Smith movie, I Am Legend, copied basically. And quite frankly, they didn't do a very good job because honestly, that I Am Legend movie sucked. But yeah, these two movies, the Last Man on Earth and Night of the Living Dead. If you're a fan of zombie movies, that's what got it going. But honestly, the original zombie movie, or at least what's considered the original zombie movie, is the Bela Lugosi film, White Zombie. Great movie right there. Yep. You watch that one? And that's like pretty much the first one. There was another one that came out around the same time called Revolt of the Zombies, where they didn't pay for the rights, obviously, but they used Bela Lugosi's eyes in the film. But it was a good movie though, for a 1930s zombie movie. It was pretty good. I mean, I watch old movies too. I mean, I'll watch anything. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not biased like that. I mean, especially when it comes to horror, I'll watch anything. Uh, Ghostbusters movie scrapbook. I guess this came with a version of the DVD back in 2005, but I picked that up too because I'm a Ghostbusters fan. So it's pretty cool. It's got like, different pictures in it and stuff. Got a DVD of Hee Haw. Only one. My friend, quite frankly, he got the rest of them, which honestly he probably already has. So I'll probably end up with some of the doubles. So I think a lot of them probably are going to be doubles. whatever, no problem. Uh, Sink the Bismarck, the movie. It's a pretty good movie. I like the song too by Johnny Horton. Um, Also got this little micro, it's die-cast, but it's like a little micro machine steam engine train. I got this Maxi Taxi Blackwall Hot Wheel. It's pretty cool. It's probably from the 70s, I would assume. Maybe it's older than that. I don't know. 70s, I'm guessing. Um, I picked this bad boy up. This is the Hot Rod M&M's car. I've actually wanted one of these for years, but it's like the last time I knew that somebody that had one, they sold it before I could get it. So, and this one's actually complete. They had actually two of them at the store, but at a thrift store, but one of them was missing the hatch. One of the hatches on the back, so I wanted one that was complete. And let's see, one of the last things I got here is this. This is a Woody ambulance, 1937 Studebaker Woody ambulance, because I collect hearses and ambulances. What's cool about this is it says it's a Woody, right? Well, believe it or not, on this die-cast, the panels are actually wood. You don't normally see that. Normally they're plastic, even though it says it's a Woody. It's the first time I've ever gotten one that actually is what it says it is. That's pretty cool. Because I have like little wood, little die-cast Woodies, and they're made of plastic, or they're metal on the back or whatever. It's like the little Hot Wheels 40s Woody. I have one. Well, it was up there. I don't know where the hell it is now. They're made of plastic, so that's pretty cool. I think that's it for now. I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to make sure I got everything. What's that? I think I already showed that. Yeah, I think that's everything. Got quite a few things. I got some other stuff too, but some other stuff I'm probably not keeping because it turns out I didn't need it. I did show you this. This came from Walmart though. It's the 66 Batmobile Gold Edition. Gold one. Found that at Walmart because I like the 66 Batmobile. Also, I'm showing you that. Can't see nothing wrong with showing you this. Got a friend in Utah that makes costumes. So this is a 66 Batmobile General Lee. How do you like that, huh? He does a really good job on his cars. Yeah, he does a lot of different costumes, but his specialty is General Lee. So he can make any General Lee out of a Hot Wheel, out of any car. Doesn't matter what it is. I've seen him do it out of a Back to the Future time machine. I've seen him do it out of Batmobiles, 57 Chevys, 55 Chevys. So it's pretty cool. But anyways, this is episode 2 of this series. So stay tuned for more episodes, and I'll see you all next time.